Hey everyone, it's Dr. Ramani, and it's Father's Day. You know, the holidays on this channel are never very pleasant. So, you ready to talk about Father's Day? And before we talk about Father's Day, I'm always going to invite you, give yourself a Father's Day gift. Subscribe to this channel, hit that bell, get those notifications every day when the new video comes out. And this is kind of a depressing video, so you may not like it. But again, let's talk a little bit about Father's Day. I have to be honest with you, these holiday ones actually kind of break my heart because for survivors of narcissistic abuse, let's face it, Father's Day is as complicated as Mother's Day and maybe even more so. One reason for that is while, yeah, I know there are plenty of narcissistic women out there, enough of you have narcissistic mothers to know that. Narcissism is a personality trait that is in fact more prevalent in men for a variety of reasons, and a lot of that actually relates to how boys and men are socialized in most cultures. If women were socialized the same way, we'd see it equal, right? So if somebody had a narcissistic parent, though, it was far more likely to be a father than a mother, which is why I think Father's Day is rougher for survivors of narcissistic abuse. Now, for many survivors of narcissistic abuse via a narcissistic father, this can truly be a day of grief. The impact of a father is so profound and complex, and the myriad posts out there that you'll see on social media from everyone either talking about their own wonderful fathers or fathers themselves speaking about their devotion to their own children can be very, very painful for those who did not have this kind of relationship. Fathers in a household can often traditionally be the ones who frame discipline and can also relate to how people grow up to relate to figures who hold authority. The experience of having had a rageful or controlling or neglectful or invalidating father can result in things like very poor partner choices that have major ramifications that quake your entire adult life. You end up choosing a partner that invalidates or controls, or that a person always feels that they have to keep jumping through hoops to please. Life can become an eternal struggle to prove themselves. To partners, friends, bosses, every day is game day in an attempt to win over unwinnable people, just like that father who never noticed you. Many people who experience narcissistic abuse and the invalidation, neglect, undermining, dismissiveness, and being unseen by a father will acknowledge that it shaped them and their family system in so many ways. You may not only be grieving the loss of a childhood, but also recognize that you have spent your life trying to seek out safety, trying to win other people over, of selling yourself short, of not feeling worthy, of never seeing a healthy relationship or marriage between two adults, of the damage it did to siblings. It's interesting because fathers do often hold so much power in a family system. And let's face it, this can be rather tyrannical power. The responses people have to their fathers often fall into one of the four sympathetic nervous system responses, right? Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, thanks to Pete Walker, who made that fawn, the work on fawning. The fighters are the ones who kept almost or actually coming to blows with their fathers, and these are the folks who may remain combative into adulthood. The flighters are the ones who would run away and hide, who avoid dad, and ultimately who stay away and don't engage as much with the father that they've had or with any father figure or with other people. The freezers are the people who'd get stuck, never know what to say. They would feel frozen in the moment when they were in front of their father, and sometimes would think of the right thing to say many hours later or weeks later and then ruminate what happened. And those fawners are the ones who attempt to please dad their whole lives, no matter how many times their father has belittled, invalidated, minimized, or gaslighted, they still keep going back. They keep trying to impress dear old dad and keep having their heart broken. This can go on for a lifetime and extend into other relationships, a person forever trying to get the notice of that unnoticing dad. Father's Day, Mother's Day, all of these holidays when we are supposed to commemorate these special people who are supposed to have done right by us, these can really pour salt into the core wounds that these relationships have generated and reinvigorate the grief. It's just a day, but I get it. And I hope to normalize that this is a day of grief for many people. If this day is a tough one for you, listen, on Father's Day, do something you like, whatever that may be. Let it at least be a call to arms. Let this day that can bring up so much conflict and so many difficult feelings for you, do something for yourself. Maybe do that thing with yourself that your father would have minimized or never wanted to do with you, or you wished your dad did with you. For some people, that might be too hard. It may raise up too much grief. It may be that you spend time, let's say you have a healthy relationship with that other parent. If there's a way to spend time with them, maybe you'll choose to do that. But whatever you do, this can be a very painful day for people who had very fraught, difficult relationships with fathers. I'm here to tell you it's more common than you think. You're not alone with this. And those pangs you feel today, be gentle with yourself and understand, unfortunately, while yes, many people out there who are very blessed had wonderful relationships with their father, and that's great for them. But if that's not your story, I understand how painful this day can be. And I wish you all the best on what may be a very difficult day. Thanks again.